Recording in progress.
I'm gonna grab my presentation.
Morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay, we got a new computer last week, so this is
We all forgot, and because we have all our stuff on the old one, we're like, where's it?
yeah. It was like
It's sad that we had all the things set up the way we like.
oh
Windows
guys.
11.
I love my phone.
Is it Windows 11?
Yeah, we
got- well,
just like the newest computer.
I have to have an appointment with broker care on Wednesday to do the printers.
But I always forget when you import a new computer and all your files, everything, like the way you have it set up, all that starts over and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
that's right. So
Yeah. Good morning. Here's the way for you.
do it.
Do you do Crocs at home?
I actually have my Crocs in my car.
Right.
I have 2 pairs, just in case. Okay. Okay.
Recording already?
I don't know.
I know, brand new computer.
Yeah, I'm like I'm having to sign into everything.
I know. But it's way faster.
It's true.
Way better.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Zoom. Let's go.
Class starting?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what all the little dings are. The chatting.
Good morning, Amanda.
Oh, I'm not muted.
Oh yeah, you're not muted. Can I hear? Okay. Good morning. Hi. All right. Well, today, good morning, everyone. We're going to talk about what everyone should be having in their.
Can you turn your screen just a little bit? It's glaring in my face.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh, this.
There you go.
Okay. I was like, that's great.
I know. It's
if I
like,
could change
whoa.
that. We're going to be talking about what everyone needs in their marketing plan. I know everyone's probably going through their 2024 business plan, kind of securing that in, and getting kind of what they're going to look like, what's going to look like for next year. So this is supposed to help you guys. We went through a branding marketing class a month ago, and your marketing calendars. So how that should be structured, what should be on there, giving you some ideas of how you can be implementing that into your business plan. And so today we're just gonna be talking about like top 5 things in your marketing plan, what you guys should be focusing on, and generally what's been the most successful for real estate agents. So the first one we're talking about is your email newsletter. I'm kind of curious, does everyone have an email newsletter, or especially on Zoom, if you guys want to like raise your hand or something, like saying if you have your email newsletter going. I feel like maybe 1 in every 5 people I meet probably have an email newsletter that they're sending out, but I don't think a lot of people understand the purpose of it, why you want to send something out monthly. And so the question is, what role will this play in my marketing plan for next year? And yeah, how is it really effective? So the top 3 things that come to mind are you stay top of mind. So if you're sending out emails and giving them something that they want to see, you're going to be at the top of their email list. They're going to be like, oh, Makenna Kim real estate, whatever. And then they're going to see your subject line. They're going to say, oh, McKenna's there again. Oh, McKenna's there again. Every couple of days with something. And you don't want to be, spamming people, but it is something where if you're sending out emails consistently enough, they're going to associate you with real estate knowledge in their email. And most people, if you think about how you use email, you see notifications on your phone come up like, oh, I got an email from so-and-so. You look at the subject line and either you click on it because it looks important and engaging, or you just clear it and you don't look at it. So it's an easy way to stay top of mind. It's an easy way to get the word out about if you have an event coming up, if you have an open house coming up, if you have an announcement like, hey, so-and-so joined my team, or I moved, whatever the announcement may be. That's an easy way to give a lot of information to a lot of people at once. And it's also, I'm gonna move this. It's also one of the cheapest ways to market yourself by staying top of mind. Most people do have email for personal reasons and work reasons. And it's the easy way to just like get mass marketing out there, and it's cheap. We'll talk about a couple platforms too that you can use. I know depending on how many people you have for your contacts, like maybe you only have 50 right now. There's a bunch of free platforms that you can use for even 50 people to be sending them out monthly or bi-weekly, whatever it is. So just remember, email newsletters, it's a pretty easy way to stay top of mind in a really cheap form, and something people will always see. Like you get notifications on your phone when you see text message. Most people see it for their email too. They see it pops up, and text messages are a little tough to do like a huge mass text to a bunch of people. But email is that's kind of the purpose of it. And that's why people market in that way, especially for clothing or any other kind of industry. They use email to show their top deals and what's going on. And it's also a way that people, like if they saw something from you in real estate, you can't really go search a text message. It's more difficult to search something like that, or search your Instagram or Facebook for that one thing you saw. But an email, this is kind of weird, but an email, you can search like that one, trends in the real estate market of November, and your email will come up because they can search easier in an email. So it's just kind of something to keep in mind when you're sending them out. So I'm just going to give you some ideas about what you can implement into your marketing plan as far as types of emails to be sending out, because some people kind of get stuck. And so the first one is the welcome. So when you go, maybe you're hosting an open house, for example, and you meet someone and you're like, well, if you want more information about this house or like what's going on, just like let me know. Here's, sign up right here. They put down their email. So a new process you can start is taking that email and sending up a email list that when they get subscribed to it, they get this first email that says, hey, welcome to my email. Thank you for, signing up. And reintroduce yourself, say who you are, what you do, what you maybe specialize in, discuss, this is what you'll be getting from me, if you want these latest market trends or what's going on in this area or with this specific house, like let me know, give me a call. And that's the give me a call to action. On the right here, this is just an example email that I found from some website. So you have like a title, you have a brief description like, hey, thanks again for reaching out. This is what you'll expect from me. If you're curious about, taking the next step or moving forward with this, give me a call. And that's where this call to action, you always want something for your user to be able to do. They want something of what's next. And so this is just like a simple layout, but we'll also kind of go into other platforms that will do all this for you. So you're not going into like designing everything, but it's just you're providing the information. And remember, when you're sending out emails, short, concise bullet points are always the best. It's just like a side tip. When you're thinking about what's easiest to read when you're sending out emails, you don't want to like, I think people get stuck on this email needs to be really like long, drawn out, and I don't know what to put. But honestly, people don't want to read 2 paragraphs about what's happening in the real estate market. That's what like an article is for. And so your email is just to maybe point them towards an article that might be interesting that applies to them, not necessarily that be your newsletter. So short, concise, bullet points are better. This is like the basic newsletter email. This is going to be something that's useful about maybe it applies to them as the client. So if it's a buyer or seller, or just general people who are looking into real estate needs, you're providing something of value. So this would be something more of like your monthly one-time email that you send out at the beginning of the month or the end of the month, like, hey, here's the recap from the month of November. This is what happened in the market. Here are some, a couple key tips on whatever is happening in the market at the time. And then make sure it's something that when they do read it and they do see what's going on, it's like, oh, this actually applies to my nephew. He might want to know like what happened in the interest rates, recently. So make it something that's shareable, something you want to maybe forward to friend, family, whoever it is. And the newsletter really should be just as any email should be pretty clear and concise and shouldn't be too overwhelming. If you look at a normal email and it has a normal newsletter layout, it might be too much information. And so you have to really be focusing on who is this going to and why would this be important for them to read? What's valuable in it? And so you have to be thinking about, what articles would be important to include, because I don't want to include all 10 of them because they're not going to read all 10. That take like 3 hours for them to read through your email. They're not going to want to do that. They just want to see what's important to them. Why should I look at this? And what is this email valuable? Because people are getting emails all day, every day. Their junk email, their spam is full. My email is embarrassing. I don't even talk about how many emails I have, but you have to provide something of value. And that starts with the content in it, because that's going to be, am I going to delete this email or am I going to forward it to someone? And these are just some ideas if you guys want to write any of these down. If you're not sure what kind of email newsletter to be sending out at the beginning of the month or end of the month, whenever you choose to do that, because I'd encourage you guys at least once a month be sending it to your 10 people, your 50, your 100, your 1,000 people, giving them something that's showing your name at the top of their email inbox. So market trends, what's going on in the market, give them the latest interest rates, home values, newest listings. Maybe that's kind of in the Puget Sound, maybe that's King County, maybe that's actually Pierce, wherever that niche market is. And maybe you're even taking your newsletter and you just started out, or you've been farming a certain neighborhood. So maybe you're doing just what's going on in that neighborhood. And you can actually set that up through Property Tracker, which is our like John Scott tool. So you can be setting them up on a certain search, and then anything that comes from that search, you can be sending to a specific person, so that those new listings that are coming up, they're going to that person because it's in that area that you drew. How to sell your home fast, another great topic. You can be giving them tips on that. Recent sold, kind of like your newest listings in a certain area. You can be sharing what you sold recently, shows proof of success. Your home loan advice, maybe sending them a lender or lender's contact or website of, hey, if you need advice, go here. Like, I'm trying to provide you with resources. That's valuable because they may not know the process. They may not have anyone they're talking to yet. Local neighborhood tips, what's going on in that neighborhood, why should they be moving there, why, what's attractive about it, home decor, what's the latest trends going on in design, community events. So you can be sending out like an easy, hey, this is happening in the Auburn area. these 3 events if you're interested, you know, be great, whatever. That may not be necessarily your real estate, you know, promo stuff, but it's your name. You're giving them information that's of value to them. And then you can do your own event recaps. If you host events, if you're at that point where you're doing things with other people, just like social media, and just like anyone, they want to see faces. They want to see something that's like not just words. So when you have videos and photos in your email, that's more attractive. And so it's totally something to include in your newsletter. But yeah, again, don't overwhelm it. Don't put every one of these bullet points on there, because they're not going to know where to begin in the email, and they're not going to know where to end. And they're just going to click out of it. So you want to make sure it's something that's important. But again, it's just getting your name at the top of their mind in their email. Another one, buyers, and we'll go through buyers and sellers. So if you're mainly a buyer's agent right now and you're focusing on just your buyers, it's really easy to just pick topics that are targeted towards buyers and give them what they want, give them things that are important to them, because you may not be like calling them every hour, you know, like, hey, did you know that this is how you negotiate with sellers? But you can be sending them emails like, hey, I'm just going to give you some, be checking in, and you don't have to do that always by talking to them, but via email. So giving them your name, and they're associating your name with knowledgeable things about the real estate market and what applies to them. Maybe it's financing tips. They're figuring out, oh, what is a 3-2-1 buy down? What does that mean? How do I do that? And you just have the information there for them. Your open house invites. Hey, this open house is happening. Here you go. How to buy a new home as a first-time home buyer. Those are great questions that a buyer may be facing and not know what to do. But if you send this to a seller who's selling their 3rd house, and maybe they don't really need all this information, then it doesn't really apply to them. So these are the topics for specifically your buyers. And even if it's like your 10 buyers who are seeing your name associated with this information in their email, that's a lot more valuable to them. And just like buyers, if you're focusing more on sellers and working with them, these are great topics to go over. This can be your, hey, this is what you should be doing with your home or in renovations to be increasing the value. This is what you can be doing this season. This is what's been popular. That's bullet points, like, you know, your email structured of like, hey, are you looking to sell your home? Here are like the top 3 things that home buyers are doing to increase their value. So if I see that, I'm like, oh, what are those 3 things? I'm kind of curious, and I want to sell my house in the next 3 months. So they're going to see from you the latest home maintenance tips and renovations, and applies to them, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to increase their value. How much of the home sold for in the area? Again, Property Tracker can do that as well. They can see, you can outline a certain part on the map to then set up to send to them that search. So when something has been sold, it goes to them, showing them the price of that home. But also, if you go through and kind of like a CMA, you would get comps from other homes in that area, you just send that to them in email form. So they have, oh, this is what's happening in my area. A great email, why should they choose you as their selling agent? What value do you bring? You might be doing that in your listing presentation, but also if you haven't even gotten to that point, like let's say you just made a touch to someone and broke bread with them and were like, oh yeah, that's great, let me give you some information about who I am. That's gonna be your first impression now, is through this email, is following up with them of, hey, I'm Makenna, and I've been in real estate, blah, blah, blah. And I focus on getting these real estate needs for my clients. And you're kind of providing them in your own words how you want to present yourself to them in email, and now in person when you go to meet with them, because they might see this as a value, like, oh, this is legit, and now I'm going to check out their website, and now I'm going to check out their social media through this email. So why should they represent you? Tell them why you should be chosen. A couple other ones: how to raise the value of your home. Kind of like the home maintenance one. What can I be doing to increase my home's value? That's going to be really important to a seller. They want to know how they can get more for their house. So you telling them how they can do that is going to be valuable. And then lastly, show them how you've helped other people. What have other people said about you? and what has been effective for them. And again, it just shows why they should choose you even more. And then lastly, I think this is a kind of important one to work on overall when you're working on your emails and figuring out your marketing plan is having a drip email set up. This is a feature that is also available on my desk, but it's also available in a lot of other platforms. This is basically where you set up the an email sequence. So on my desk, it's 1 through 90 days, and there's like 11 emails or 15 emails between that already have layouts to it, and it has days that are sent, it sends out day 1 when you sign them up, and then 4 days later it sends out another email that's already ready to go. And so I think this is a great process to start implementing into your marketing plan, because it basically gives you something to do that you don't even have to worry about. When you make a touch at your open house and you're like, oh, like, let me send you some information, you just take their email, you plug them into your buyer drip, and now you have an email going out to them, and you're not even thinking about it. They're just getting the emails from you. They're saying, oh, Makenna's, this is why I should use Makenna. Oh, this is what Makenna's been doing in this area. Oh, these are the latest home tips I should be doing from Makenna. So they're going to see your name over and over, and you're not even thinking about it. You're not having to go press send. It's on its own email sequence, and it's automated. So these are great ways to just have basic topics, like how do you negotiate in this market, but that email is already set up. So going into 2024, when you're trying to learn new things and stay up to date, the last thing you want to think about is figuring out what all these emails you're going to be sending out to your buyers or seller leads. But like, this is probably one of the easiest ways and cheapest ways that you can just set them up and plug them into a drip email, and then they're just getting the emails, and you don't even have to worry about it. It's already set up. So putting time into this now for your marketing plan is going to be pretty, I think, effective if you make that a process of when you meet someone, you connect them into you put them into your CRM, and now you're putting them into your email, your drip email, to be getting the emails that are applicable to them and of value, so that they actually want to read it and they know who you are. And then these are just kind of some platforms that I wanted to share. Is MailChimp. It's a great one. I love using it. I think I showed the pricing for that next. Yeah. So MailChimp, it's free up to 500 contacts. So if you don't have a normal platform yet for your email, just emailing mass emails, MailChimp is a great one for up to 500 contacts. And then depending on how much you do for how many people, there's some plans, but again, there's like a million different other ones you can use too. But MailChimp is definitely a reliable one. And it's also one that has a lot of templates, scheduling features. So you can schedule out things too. If it's like more of your newsletter, you're scheduling out once a month, you can do that as well. So MailChimp is great. Constant Contact, another one like MailChimp for mass emails. And then our own MyDesk has its own email system. That's where I said like automated emails for your drip campaign. They have that. They have a system set up so that you can do a buyer drip or a seller drip or your newsletter every month, and you just assign your contacts to the email so that they're getting them. But yeah, again, other ones work as well. Just find one that works for you and what you're doing and your budget. A side note, if you guys were here last week, Chase did another great class about lead generation from Access Home Closing, and you can always get a lot of emails from specific areas, like a neighborhood. And so like, let's say you want to go to the Highland Meadows neighborhood, and you're like, okay, I want all the homes in this neighborhood, I want their addresses, or their email addresses. You can actually go through Access and get the list of those email addresses, the most that you can, because there's certain data they can't pull, but they can pull most people's email addresses and then plug them into a certain campaign that they're getting information about Highland Meadows, because that's the neighborhood that you maybe live in and you know the most about. So you're trying to farm to them via email, and then they're going to get your postcard, and then they're going to get a call from you and a door knock. So like, there's a lot of different ways you can do niche marketing in a certain area. So just something to think about.
I would add that with the new CRM, I've used it before. It's a Salesforce platform. it's super cool when you can, I mean, the end's always getting them pre-approved or getting them into your pool of clients. So if you kind of think of it in that way, you can start the journey from like curiosity all the way to, I've done a ton of work on this. So when you're first getting a client, it's curious, right? You're just curious. They want to know what you're about. They want to see your brand, what value proposition you got. So it goes from them to now you're having a certain conversation to all the way to the end of either book time with me or go get pre-approved. And so with the new CRM, what you're able to do is if they respond to the email in a certain way with a yes or a no, then it prompts another email coming from you. Then it say yes or no, then it prompts another email or depending how they respond. And then all the way to the end to where it always goes to the end where it's book time with you or go get pre-approved. So one of the two ends up with that. And if they says no, it circles back into another drift. Even if they say, you know, I'm not interested right now, then it goes into, okay, follow-up email 3 months from now or 2 months from now. It's super cool what you can do.
That's amazing, yeah.
It's pretty in-depth. I had it all set up beforehand, but that's why I've been waiting patiently for it, but the new My Desk is gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's the new one he's talking about, Engage, that will be our new CRM, but in that will be great email integrations for that. No, like that's actually really good to know. Like I haven't been on the beta for that, so yeah, there's some cool things coming from My Desk, and that'll make it easier to do emails, and then a little bit more mindless, but you're still doing it because they're getting prompts and it's all set up for them to use, but you really don't have to do anything after it's already set up. So so that's email newsletters. Should be doing those next year in your marketing plan. So the next one I want to talk about is social media platforms. Some people's favorite, some people's least favorite. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Instagram, and why you should be using it consistently in your real estate business. So Instagram, I mean, most people do, not most people, but I'd say about like 80% of people do have it here in the US. And so why not use one of the most like popular platforms to be promoting yourself on? These are like the top 6 things of like why people are attracted to using, or, you know, being on Instagram, but like why you should be using it consistently. First one is visual appeal. Like real estate, we do everything by visual. Like when you go to show a house, they're looking at everything, why the property is valuable, why they want to move there, why the photos look good, what videos are attractive. It's a visual game. So they're saying, oh, if this, like I went to go see a house this past weekend that they had really good videos and photos for the house, visually appealing. Got to the property, didn't look like that, but it was visually appealing. So yeah, they got me. I saw the visual appeal there and I went to go check it out. So focusing on that when you're promoting your Instagram feed and doing that on your stories, on your posts, bring them in, attract them in with the visual. They're gonna see it visually. Like, what are you attracted to? Like, you see it, the mountain, it's pretty. You want to go, you know, drive by or look at photos of it because it's visually appealing. That's what people are attracted to, and that's what Instagram's all about. Is it's really about the visual, you know, the layout of your feed and what people see when they search up your name. Instagram has a great platform for exposure. So getting a lot of reach for your listings, your open houses, your videos. It's a great way to broaden your audience. So you share something and someone shares yours something and it just goes on. You're increasing your exposure immensely. Oops. You're able to build a brand on Instagram a lot. So when you're building your brand, and we did class about this about a month ago, and it was kind of focused on what can you be doing to promote yourself and who you are. And that's what your personal brand is. And so top 3 things I see in here are like your expertise, like sharing on Instagram, what you know about real estate, why you're the expert, you're sharing your personality in your brand, who you are, what sets you apart from other people, and your unique selling proposition or point. So like what you specifically have that other people don't, why should they be choosing you? And again, building your brand, that also, it leads to establishing trust and credibility. They want to like, know, and then trust you eventually. And your brand does that. It shows that you're professional, that you know a lot about real estate, that you know what you're doing, and that you've been helping other people. So when they go to your Instagram feed and they see that, they're seeing who you are. That's what you represent, and the reputation that you hold is Instagram. That's kind of what it's known for, is seeing what you've been doing. And so, yeah, start building that. Think about how you want it to look. If you don't know where to start with that, I would encourage you guys to look at other Instagrams, other real estate people, what they've been doing, what you like and don't like about their brand, or their Instagram page, I should say, which is their brand, what they're building, and then figure out what you want to do. So this is not, oh, I'm going to do exactly what this other person's doing, because you're not that person. Like, you have to be doing something that's unique to yourself. Instagram is great for storytelling. Like, they have stories, which is just the little 24 hour, it stays on for 24 hours, little circles at the top of Instagram. It's a great way to just click on, see what people are doing right then and there. So like, let's say you're at your open house, you take a video, you're like, hey guys, I'm at my open house from 12 to 2, come stop by, it's a great property. Walk around the house maybe, and then be like, hey, come by, I'll be here. And then just have maybe the address attached to the bottom. Then they're going to see, oh, they're doing another open house. Oh, they're doing another open house this next weekend. Oh, they're doing, you're going to see in the moment, what you're doing with life. And that's storytelling. They're seeing what you're doing, and it's engaging. It's quick, because a lot of people, this is a side note, on Instagram, not everyone's going to sit there and scroll through Instagram or scroll through Facebook. They may not have time to do that. So they're just going to go pop on their Instagram, go through like the top 10, 12 stories that they see, and then they're going to close their app. So if you can be actively on the stories of just reposting what other people are doing or doing your live videos, that's going to be a lot more engaging with someone, and you might get more touches that way of them seeing your name out there on Instagram than you would be posting a lot. The fifth point is connecting with potential buyers and sellers. Like, if they see who you are and what you're doing, they may ask you questions. They may refer you to someone else. Like, oh, I know this account. I love their feed. They do great stuff, great videos that are really informational. You should follow them. The more you post, the more valuable you provide, the more connection you can get with potential buyers and sellers. And so, and that can be like on the stories, again, you can be doing a poll of like, how many people, blah, 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 blah. And then people can answer that. So now they're engaging with your stories. Or what are your questions as a first-time home buyer, or like stuff like that. And people can get engaged with that on your stories. And lastly, for Instagram, sharing market trends and insights. When people see what what's going on the latest, I guess connecting what information they need to know, like what's going on in the market, and they think of you, that's going to be really, I think it's really cool, because now they're saying, oh, I need to know like what's going on in the market, so I'm going to go to this account because I see them every month post what's going on in the market, or what's going on in this area, or what to stay away from, what trends are changing, be the information that they want to hear about. So a lot of questions I get is, how often should I share content? So when you're thinking about putting your marketing plan together and establishing your calendar, your marketing calendar, which you guys all should be starting to look at too, is incorporating that into your daily calendar of, what am I doing this week to be sharing content? So this will go for both Instagram and Facebook, but I generally encourage people to do 3 to 4 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever that may be. You can work up to every day. It's a lot. But I think 3 to 4 times is manageable if you plan accordingly. So things you can do and share are market updates. Videos are going to win a market update, but you can do a stagnant one too. Market updates, your listings, just listed, just sold, your open houses, what's going on. in the community. I will say reviews, like sharing your reviews, people really like that. Like people really like seeing what you've done and maybe the family or person that you helped, because it's personal. It's like something they said about you that's nice. So someone's I want to like that, and then they're gonna see the person that you helped even more appealing to like. So it's a face, and it's a face that they want to see, because we like seeing faces and real people, and it's a real review about someone that they like, which is you. They're following you to for a reason. So I think reviews are super important, and that should be in your marketing plan. Is anytime that you close or on a buyer or seller, hey, can you share a quick review like on Google, just that I'd like to keep my reputation in blah blah blah, and asking them for a review. Because if they really enjoyed working with you, they want to share with other people that they should use you. So ask for reviews. And then some personal posts. So on Instagram, I encourage people to do 80% of business posts and stories, and then 20% personal. So if you have a business account, make sure it's like 80% focused on your real estate business, but make it personal as well. Make it that 20% of maybe you're going on a hike, or maybe you went to pumpkin patch, or putting some of that personal stuff in there so that they know that you're still a real person doing real estate, and that you still enjoy things outside of just real estate too, that something they can connect with. I know, like, I've heard stories about people connecting over going skiing together. They saw someone skiing, and then they're like, oh, you want to go skiing? Sure, let's go skiing. Oh, you're a real estate agent, really? Like, so they're connecting over something personal, but then it's also a business connection too, which is a great tool. And then a story, again, that's a 24-hour story that goes at the top of your Instagram. That's the one where people will pop onto your Instagram. You look through the first 10, 15 stories, and then they jump off the app. So sharing a story daily, that might be like sharing someone else's content or something you saw that you thought was really inspiring or helpful. Share that to your story, or make a story yourself, like your open house. Hey, I'm doing an open house this time, you should come tomorrow. And another side note is you can connect your stories to Facebook. You can connect your posting to Facebook as well. So if you have your Instagram and Facebook set up right now, connecting them, so when you post to Instagram or you post to Facebook, it automatically will post to both of them. So you don't have to make the post again in the other app. If you want help setting that up, ask me and I can help you do that. Makes it a lot easier. And then lastly, video and value wins. So video will become first in your feed because the algorithm of Instagram wants people to be on the app longer. When you watch a video, you're engaged for longer and you stay on the app longer. And so when you post your video, that's automatically going to go up in the algorithm because it's something that will keep people on Instagram longer. So Instagram wants to promote your content because it's something that keeps them on their app. And then posts that have more value, so something that people are staying on longer to read or look through, like scroll through that post, that will also increase your engagement because Instagram is seeing that they're staying on your post longer. But they're not going to want to look at like 2 paragraphs on a post. They're going to want to look at maybe one statement or a couple bullet points or a pretty house to look at. They don't want to look at a bunch of words. That's not what Instagram is for. It's, again, visual appeal. They want to see, why do I want to look at this post for this long, and what value is it to me? So that will increase your engagement too. But yeah, so Instagram is a really valuable tool and platform to be using. It's like 3rd in the nation to be used. So if you're not on Instagram, you don't have to be using Instagram a whole lot to be a great real estate agent. You just have to be putting stuff out there so people see you, they see your brand, you're consistently building that and giving them something of value that they can be using. Next will be Facebook. So Facebook and Instagram, they're kind of hand in hand. They're owned by the same people. But why should you be using it? As of January, there are 250 million Facebook users in the US. So 3/4 of people use Facebook. So most people are on there, and it is the number one social media platform. So if you don't have it, probably should download it and be sharing your real estate information on there. How often should you be sharing? Again, just like Instagram, about 3 to 5 times a week, a little bit more. And the reason I say that is because it is the most used. So if you're not using the most used platform, what are you doing? Like, you should be putting that out there, because it's an easy one for people to share your stuff. It's one that is more known to see repeated shares. So if you have open house and someone shares it, they can see that, oh, so-and-so shared that, I'll share that too. I'll share that too. And I even see a lot of people who sell their homes, even my parents, like they sold their home a couple of years. They had a listing from their listing broker posted on Facebook. They shared that one. And then like 10 of my parents' friends shared that post with their sphere. So now you have that listing going everywhere on Facebook. And that's the difference between Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is more for your branding, visual appeal look, but Facebook is kind of more for your informational and getting a broader reach even with your sphere. So just like Instagram too, they have story feature on there too, where it's a 24-hour, it's up at the top of your Facebook feed, and people just click it, they look through it, and then they close the app. So putting your stuff on Facebook story is really effective as well, but I'm gonna say videos again because people love videos. Facebook is for longer videos too. Instagram, I would say, is for the 90-second videos, the shorter ones. It can be used for longer, but people who are using Facebook, they use, it's kind of funny, but they use Facebook originally on the PC. Like most people scroll through Facebook when it first came out, they didn't have the phone to look through. Now we have the Facebook app, people look through it still on their phone, but both ways, they still like to look at longer videos on the PC and mobile phone. So if that's more of like your market update video or your event recap, whatever it is, the longer videos I think are more purposeful for Facebook specifically, because people want to see what you're doing. They want to see people's faces. They love seeing faces on Facebook. And so, yeah. And then when you should share it, this kind of goes for Instagram too, but if you're struggling, like when you should share your content on Instagram and Facebook, put this into your marketing calendar that Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are like the peak times of the week to be sharing. Saturdays and Sundays are okay, but it just depends on the time. And the times to post your content is anytime you're on your phone. So it's usually a meal time. So like 10 to 1 right in there is when you're on your phone at lunch, or when you have, free time away from work, or 6 to 8 p.m. when you're eating dinner, you're, off the clock. You just want to kind of check out and go on social media for a little bit at night. And so when you post at those times, you'll get more engagement. And side note, if you don't have Facebook already, you should. And you can actually use, if you have a business profile, you can use the Meta Business Suite. And that allows you to connect your Facebook and Instagram together. So when you're thinking about posting and putting this together for your marketing plan, you might be worried about like how you're going to share all this content. And Meta Business Suite has a planner that you just go in, you click the day, you put in your content of your caption and your photo and your video, whatever it is, and then you click schedule, and it schedules it for the week or 3 weeks from now. So you can go sit down, whatever time block you have for your marketing that week, and you go through and you get your content scheduled. So you don't have to worry about that Wednesday at 11 a.m. posting it live. You can just schedule it out so that it's already there, done for you. And it's free. So Facebook's great. And then the other two, YouTube and LinkedIn. So YouTube, there's almost 250 million people in the US who have YouTube. And again, there's a stat of like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. That's like the order of how many people do use it. And yeah, I guess, and that's a lot of people who are on social media and looking at videos. So YouTube's a great one, and we'll talk about videos a little later, but YouTube is obviously one of the best ways to share your videos. If you don't have if you've been posting your videos maybe on Instagram, and that's the only place it goes, maybe think about reevaluating that for your next year's business plan and marketing plan, because when you take a video, it might take a lot of work for you to make one video, or even 3. So think about multiplying that across all the platforms. Because if you take time to make your 5 videos, use it everywhere. Put it on your Facebook, put it on your Instagram, put it on your YouTube. And then YouTube, you can put it onto your website. And so people are seeing your face and your video and hard work everywhere. Like, don't minimize it to just like one platform, but make sure you're sharing it everywhere. And YouTube is the best place to hold your videos, and putting that into your process of when you do make videos. And then LinkedIn, that is the more business to business one. Almost 200 million people US use it, but it's a great way to connect with your potential clients. You can use LinkedIn to search people who are interested in selling or buying, and then send them connect requests. Like if someone you're like, oh, they're in real estate investing or whatever, and you want to connect with them, just send them a request. You can build relationships with other professionals, it's business to business, other contractors, vendors, building relationships to get, maybe more referrals or expertise from a certain area, so that you now have a good contact to share with someone else. Like, oh yeah, I just saw this person on LinkedIn. And then lastly, you establish yourself as an expert. You're sharing who you are, what you know, and that becomes valuable when you're making connections on LinkedIn for other, business relationships. The third main thing that you should be doing in your marketing plan this next year is implementing your print media and mailers. So print media still is a thing. It still exists. People still like to hold something tangible. When they get a letter or a postcard or whatever they're holding, they like to look at it, like to feel it, and interact with it. It's more engaging than maybe just like seeing something and then scrolling past it or closing your phone. A paper doesn't just, click away. You have it, you hold it, and now you take it home. It's been on your counter. Oh yeah, I have this flyer, oh, this brochure. It's physical. It won't just go away with a click of a button. So print media mailers is still a thing. Here are some ideas for your print media. You can still be doing postcards, property listings, whatever, just listed, just sold, just pending. When you're doing those, take care of those transactions. Make sure you're promoting it to people around that area. We also just, in that class that Chase did, looked at making a list of people in a certain neighborhood. So like, let's say you had a listing, you can narrow the people down in that neighborhood to the most qualified sellers who are going to sell next. And there's, again, go watch that class. It's great to see what filters you can put on their tool to minimize the amount of people you're sending it to. And now you're sending a postcard about your property listing, a market update or something to the most about, next seller in that neighborhood. And you already have a great message because you're already selling a house in that neighborhood. So might as well just tell them you already know this neighborhood and have some proof of success there. So put that into your postcard with that specific list from Access Home Closing. Brochures and flyers. You can be printing these out. I mean, some people don't do flyers anymore at open houses or putting them out their listings, but I still think that in hand flyer is still valuable for some people to walk away with. Some people might forget, or think, oh, I don't have any more information to look about this when I'm getting in my car driving away, or when I get home and show it to someone. That flyer, even though they can see everything online, something about having something in your hand is still effective. So having that still displayed, and maybe it's just a couple, and you do a QR code at your open house, that works too. Brochures, displaying who you are, what the property is like, still an effective way, that something they can walk away with, or something you can door knock with. Personalized written letters. So more people have been doing this, and our office specifically is making a letter that's hand addressed, so your envelopes get opened more, which is true. People open things that are not just labeled but handwritten and stamped, and they're more likely to open it. So making a letter that has a message about maybe that neighborhood, what's going on in the neighborhood, what has sold recently, what is pending, just a general market update, or maybe it's something really specific because you got a great list and you're like, this list is for people who have a lot of equity in their home, their house is paid off. So I'm going to give them a message that, is just to them specifically. So now they open this letter and they're like, oh, I have a lot of equity in my home. Like, oh, my house is paid off. Like, oh, they're like meeting all the checkpoints in your letter because you already know that about them. You're just getting them information that pertains to just them. And give them something that's personalized, but also a reason for them to open it too. Event invites, if you got an event, physical invite is encouraged to just get something in the mail. They're seeing your piece in the mail, and then they're seeing your email, and then they're going to see your social media post, putting it everywhere so that, those people are seeing it and want you to know who they are and what you're doing. House anniversary cards, this is kind of a cool thing this year because we've come out with them at John L. Scott, new ones, and a system to get a list so you can be sending out your past clients' anniversaries for when they bought their house. So this is a really easy way to make a touch with someone that you've already worked with and putting it into your monthly routine. So beginning of each month, have your list, write out a couple, your 5 cards or whatever, and send them out so that month they're getting their house anniversary card. Like, hey, congratulations. It's been 1 or 2 or 7 years now since you've purchased this home. I want to say thanks again for, I hope you're really enjoying your home, and maybe you saw something on Facebook about their growing family and you're like, oh, like, congratulations again, blah, blah. Hope you're still loving your home and the memories in it, something like that, and sign it. And that's going to go to them the month that they bought their house. And yeah, that's valuable because it's personal and it's hand addressed and handwritten maybe. And something that, wow, that's really meaningful for my agent to send me that even 5 years later. And so it's easy if you just put it into your marketing plan next year. I want to do this at the beginning of each month so that I'm making a personal touch with my past clients, people who've already used you and that you want to encourage to use you again and refer you. So, and direct mail, that's just like general marketing term of like, you have a specific area that you're trying to market to, that you're sending mail to. So postcards, letters, things that pertain to just them in their demographic or their neighborhood. So maybe it's a postcard about like, how much, like, are you sitting on like this amount of equity? Like, let me know. Are you looking to downsize to your next desirable home? Let me know. We're here for all your life changes. And then for print media, I think the best call to action, because you want to include something that they can do or be prompted to do, is QR codes. Everyone's been using those for the past 4 or 5 years now, more consistently, ever since like COVID stuff. Everyone knows how to scan a QR code for their menu. So if they see a QR code prompt of, oh, what is my home worth? Or, oh, what is the latest on this? Scan the QR code to find out. It's kind of this, oh, I want to know. Maybe I should just see where it goes. I remember, like, I think it was the halftime Super Bowl show. They just had a floating QR code on a screen, and people were like, well, where does it go? And so it's kind of, it prompts some mystery of like, I just want to see what's behind it, because it's not showing you. You have to kind of go do it. So don't forget to put QR codes on everything that you do. That is inviting them to a call to action in your print media. Videos. So this is the 4th one. Videos is going to be, I think, just one of the best things you can be doing right now for your real estate business, because 72% of people prefer video over text. They want to see something versus read how something is done. Millennials, Gen Z, we are the leading statistic in that, but other people are catching on. And I think there's a reason that television is so addicting, because they just love seeing something done, and the music and the words and people talking. It's way more engaging than reading for some people. But if you want some more reasons, again, visual appeal. Real estate is the market of visual, they want to see something that's visually appealing. So what's more visually appealing than seeing a virtual tour of a house that's really pretty, and they get to see each room and the property overall. Like, that's going to be a lot more engaging than reading, this is a great house with beautiful landscaping, blah, because they're trying to imagine it, but to see it, that's like, whoa, that is a really pretty house. Because, you know, when you read a book, you visualize maybe what's going on in the book. And then when you see the movie, you're like, oh, that's what they meant by like all these things. So, I mean, there is something about having a video that's movement and there's audio to it. It creates an emotion, and, you know, they call it subconscious emotion to how you respond to the video. But if you're not focusing on, you know, all the editing stuff, even them seeing you talk in front of a camera is still more exciting than you just typing out something. Like, they want to hear it from your voice, your tones, your music. And I know like there's some people, producers out there who will make video and they always have the same song. So then when you hear that song, you think of that person, right? And so there is something about video and the visual appeal that really engages people. But secondly, because everyone's not working on videos right now, you do have a competitive advantage to be making videos. So a lot of people that don't do it, that's your time to step in and create your strong presence of video, being the person who's doing those market updates and explaining it to people and being that person that they look to. That's gonna speak 1,000 more volumes if they're not seeing anyone else do that. And again, putting that into your email. That's your email newsletter, is your market update video, is you're putting what you know about the market, and it's you explaining the market into your newsletter, and then onto your social media platform. And all these videos you can host on YouTube and then just like post everywhere else. But be the first, you know, person they think of when they think, oh, I need to know about real estate in this area or this neighborhood, so I'm going to look at this person. The more consistent you do that, the more they catch on to that. And then lastly, video, you get increased engagement. Just like we're talking, people like want to stay on Instagram longer or Facebook longer when they see a video, so they're going to promote your content longer. That's just because people like seeing videos and they like seeing something in motion for longer. So it's a good thing to have videos be consistently going out for that engagement. So if you need some ideas for your videos next year and figuring out what I need to be doing, easy ones, you know, just talk about property listings, doing something that has the property features. And, you know, you guys probably have seen them where people do like drone footage and then like video walkthrough and showing the square footage of the home, bed, bath. People do like those. People who aren't even looking for houses like seeing that. They like seeing, oh, that's a really cool, oh, I love that kitchen. Oh, that open concept, you know, they like seeing the features of a home. And yeah, it's just, it is pretty engaging. But thinking about how you can be doing that, even short ones on your story, like even if you're at your open house and you just go through and hold record, you're like, this is a great house. If you're looking blah, going through, looking at great kitchen, new countertops, great appliances, you know, stuff like that, huge backyard. That's your 30-second video. Great, like that's what people want to see. They want to see a video of a quick little video on your story of your property. Educational videos, again, sharing what you know, make your content valuable and something where they're like, that's the expert that I want to hear from. Educational videos, great. Q&A video. So even on your stories, your Facebook and Instagram stories, you can go on there and say, hey, what are your most common questions in real estate? Then you get some people answering you, or even you can ask like your friends and family, what do you guys question about real estate? Like, what's going on? What are your top things as a buyer or seller, or just in general? And then make a series of, or maybe every 2 weeks or whenever you make your videos and you put into your calendar, because you have a set time to do that, you know, answer those questions. Say like, oh, that is what financing blah, blah is, or this is how you do a 3-2-1 buy down, or this is what financing options you do have. Making them short and sweet videos, but they're questions that people have. So give them something that they want to hear, not something that maybe everyone says, but something that actually applies to them, because someone asked the questions. That means other people are probably thinking the same thing and wondering the same thing. Local market updates, you know, giving them something of value for Pierce County or a certain neighborhood, or whatever area you're in. Give people just a video about what's going on. Make your information valuable. Behind the scenes videos are pretty cool too. I think people like to see how things are done. It's kind of weird, but they like to see, oh, like before and after, that's really cool, but like how, how did that happen? So even looking at like, oh, this is day 3 of, doing this new bathroom remodel, or doing stuff like that, or even we'll take pictures of agents recording, their video, like behind the scenes, stay up to date on the next video or what's going to come out, stay tuned. So it kind of is just a little bit more engaging and personal. And then testimonial videos, again, reviews, people love to see reviews. They love to see like your proof of success as a real estate broker. And what better way to do that than using people who loved you and want to, see your work and what you've done. So use your testimonials. And last but not least, your user-friendly website / SEO. That's explained as you want to be focusing on your website, and your website should be user-friendly, and we'll talk about what SEO is too. So what's important on your website? I think a lot of people, I don't know if it's just like my experience with people who join John L. Scott, is they love their website. We have a great, website platform, basics of what you need on your website. But sometimes we just get our website and we stop there. We're like, I have a website, cool. Like it's already done for me. But honestly, it's pretty basic. There are some great layouts of it, but it's good to put your time into developing the website a little bit more. So side note, it might be the first impression most people see is when they see like your Instagram or Facebook or your video and they're like, oh, I'll go check out their website. That might be their first impression of you, is your website. So is your website what you want people to see first? Think about that. If it's not, then I would encourage you to personalize it. Take some time to figure out what you want on your website. First thing, personalize your about me. A lot of people, when you go to visit a website, I usually look at the product, pricing, or about page. Like, who are these people? Why should I be using them? Why should I be buying this product from them? So that would include writing out a bio about yourself. Who are you? How did you get into real estate? What do you like to do in your free time? Putting some more personal information, those kinds of things. It makes you, your professional side, who you are, what you've been doing, but also your personal side. You're still a real person doing real estate and what you enjoy doing. Again, it could be your connection over skiing or whatever it is. But they're like, oh, that's cool. I like this person or whatever, because it's cool. Another thing to be doing on your website is showcasing your property videos and personal videos. So again, take those videos that you're putting your time into and putting them everywhere, including your website, putting maybe it's your about you video and you're talking about what got you into real estate and what you enjoy doing most in real estate and how you love helping people. Side note, Ron does a great job. We have a lot of videos that people have done here in the office. And I don't know, Eric, if you know like the latest deal on videos and him doing those, but I don't know if that
Rowan?
5, yeah.
He still has that thing, but they're working on a whole new one.
A whole new one?
And
Yeah.
the basis of it is for $500 a month, you will get 30 videos of
30?
video a day.
Oh, wow.
They're using like it's a whole new AI, whole new
Ooh,
thing,
AI video. So yeah,
but it's you.
it's it's gonna be some new video things are coming, and Rowan is a great resource. If you don't know who that is, reach out. Eric and I can help you connect you to him, but he does great videos. Again, putting those reviews on your website, it's showing who you are and what people have loved about you. And so what better way to see, oh, people say good things. Like before you go to a restaurant, you see how many stars they have on Google. You don't want to go to like sushi that has 2.5 stars. You want sushi with 4.8 stars. So if they see that, oh, I really think this real estate broker is reliable, credible. They've done great work and they've been doing it, for a couple of years, and people have been saying, oh yeah, they do solid work. Give them a reason that they should be using you even more. And lastly, I just kind of threw this in here too. Google Business. If you don't already have Google Business profile set up, you should set it up, and that should be one of the main things that you should work on with your SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization. I put a little definition down there, but it's improving the quality and quantity of website traffic to a website or a web page from your search engine. So when people Google you or Google something about real estate, keywords that are in your website that can be connected to the Google search. So if they search best real estate agent in Kent, Washington, integrating something into your website that says like, why, like they say I'm the best, blah, 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 or something like that. So it's a keyword integrated into your website so that when they search it or they see a review that was on your website, so why it was like, they were the best, blah, 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 and someone searches best, whatever, they're taking keywords from your review that's on your website and it's showing up on Google. So they're gonna say, oh, that person's at the top because their reviews are being drawn from their website to be put onto the Google search. So when you search best sushi in Kent, Washington, it's probably because that top one that comes up is they had a review on their website that said, this is the best sushi in Kent, Washington. So then that's connecting them to the Google search. So a great thing to focus on is what, what words you have on your website, because those things they correspond with Google searches, and everyone Googles everything. So don't overlook the power of Google in your SEO. But yeah, so again, structuring your marketing plan, I say it's about 50% of your business plan. Like you got 50% of what you're doing, but the other 50% of your business plan should be like focus on how you're promoting yourself as a real estate agent. It might go up, leaving that number of like, depending on your business model and what you're doing right now in real estate. But this should be something that those 5 components should be integrated into a marketing calendar. It should be a separate calendar from like what you do every day. It should be something that like, this is my monthly, like we have a marketing calendar, you can ask me for it, but it's a monthly, basic monthly calendar with every category that you want to do next year. And you're putting what you're going to do what day in that month throughout the whole year. So sitting down, planning that out is, it's going to hold you accountable. When you see, I want to get those 8 videos done for like those 3 months. I'm going to put it on my calendar. I'm going to do it. I say, make your physical one that you're looking at, but also, a lot of people do use Outlook, and we have Outlook integrated into our My Desk, and you can set up a calendar that is digital. So overlaps your personal one so that you're like, oh, I need to like figure out my appointment scheduling. Make sure your marketing calendar is open and overlapping your personal Outlook calendar so that you're still blocking out that time for your marketing and you're not overlooking it, because you want to make sure you get those 3 hours on Monday all done and set so that your marketing is good for the next month or maybe the next 2 weeks. So fill out your marketing calendar with your big picture plan and then get detailed as you start thinking about it. Really quick, I just wanted to say share some new ways of marketing, how things have changed for this next year. AI. So AI is not a secret. I feel like there's a lot of people who are kind of experimenting with it or figuring it out, and that is me too. It's all of us really. It's developing really fast. There's a lot of things that have come out this year and have already been out, but we just didn't even realize it was AI. But I would say the latest ones that we've been talking about and using in the office and in real estate is chatbots. So like ChatGPT, it's where you get ideas, tips on real estate, or hey, I have an email newsletter that I want to send out. Can you write me a email newsletter layout from a real estate agent that goes over the latest market trends in this area? There you go. You have a email newsletter template that is ready to be copied and pasted and scheduled for your next newsletter. And Bard, we did a class about ChatGPT and Bard both, if you want to watch that video, but that's getting information, facts, and data that you can share with people about real estate. Can take a long time to research things, and if you want to take the time, just put it, search your question, and it can give you that information, help you save some time. Video, because video is popular and one of the best and most important things I think everyone should be doing in their marketing plan. We had a couple that Howard Chung came out with at our industry forum watch party. last week. He was sharing one of called HeyGen 11 and 11 Labs, and it's crazy. It's a video tool where basically one of them you can make a video, and then it can just like translate your voice and how you sound into a whole different language. So you didn't even make the video in a different language, but it looks like you did. And then there's ones that can impersonate you, so they learn your motions, and then they make other videos that look just like you or sound just like you, but it's not you. It's just an AI generated version of you and your voice. So yeah, crazy stuff. And then CapCut video. Those are two, we're actually going to do a class next week on video, AI video tools, because video is so important and everyone should be doing it. You can be taking, we're going to be doing a class on those and how you can take that and integrating that into your video making and making it easier for you. And lastly, yeah, Canva. So Canva is mainly used for like design and a lot of marketing stuff, but they have a thing called Canva Magic. And if you don't already have Canva, Canva Magic is like amazing. It has basically all these tools that are AI integrated. So I would just encourage you guys to go on there, check it out, see what it's all about. But there's a lot of, magic video, magic design. It can make a video for you edited. If you just plug in the videos you took, it can just make it for you with words and music and all that. So pretty cool stuff for AI. And lastly, don't forget that AI can't do everything. Your personal engagement does matter in your marketing plan. So not relying everything on AI and all that stuff, but making sure you are still doing your pop buys, your door knocking, networking with people, community events, making sure your name does have a face to it, that you're still engaging with people personally, because marketing isn't just social media, it isn't just videos, it isn't just a flyer, but it's really it's you. So making sure you're still out there shaking hands as well. Secondly, be flexible to change, then adapt quickly. A lot of things in our world are going to change, like AI. It has literally changed a lot of marketing stuff. And so, make sure you want to learn, be engaged with that, but then adapt, because some people realize that video is really important and now it's going to be like, okay, I really got to do it now and adapt to that. So doing that. And then lastly, consistency is key. So you can have everything in line. You can have all the right videos and all the right stuff, but if you don't execute it, then it's kind of a waste of time. Like if you don't even put it out there, you don't put it out, promote it. It's like, well, you spent all this time doing all this marketing stuff and even money, and then you don't put it out there, then what's the point? So you got to be consistent to be top of mind, be doing those emails, be doing those social media posts, have those videos ready to go. Because if they just see you every, 6 months, then it's like, oh, they're still doing real estate, didn't know, or whatever. So consistency is key. And this is your challenge for making your marketing plan for next year, is to write out what strategies you'd like to meet next year. Establish a time and place you'll be doing those. That might be a weekly thing for you. That might be a monthly thing for you. Figure out what's going to work and for how much you want to do, depending on your strategy. You could start next month, start in December for January, and get ahead. Figure out what you're going to be doing for the month of January for your marketing strategies, and then make sure you ask for help. Ask other brokers like what they do, help them shoot your video and create your content. Don't be scared. Like everyone's trying to market themselves in different ways. So make sure you're asking for help in that and getting ideas from each other. But yeah, 4 things you got to do to have a successful marketing plan is you got to build your online presence. You got to offer something that's valuable that they want through all those different forms of marketing. You have to network with other people. That's a huge way of, handshakes. That's how you're going to get, your face to or name to face engagement. And then lastly, once you build up something that works, then you can start running ads and your social and print media. So that's paying for more addresses, maybe because you realize a mailer did work, or you realize that a social post is really engaging. So now you're adding investment to that so that you're getting more return out of it. So I think that's how you'll win the market over. But if you guys, do you guys have any questions or ideas that you guys want to share or things that you've seen work in your marketing plan before we end?
Question for Eric, you brought up a QR code little website, what was it called again?
The one that generates the QR code, or are you
No,
talking about the Bitly, the thing that
Bitly.
keep track of your scans and
Yeah,
everything?
Bitly.
Yeah, bit.ly, sign up for free. You don't need to do paid versions and you can actually keep track when people scan it.
Yeah, but
Pretty
it's
cool.
great too. So you may be setting up QR codes and stuff and putting them on your Bitly so that when you send out your postcard or put your flyer out, you can see how many people are scanning your QR code. So if you put even like a poster on your flyer post, so like, hey, this is for sale by so-and-so, and you put your flyer on there, you can have a QR code on there. People's, are scanning and see how many people are actually seeing your from a flyer. So, yeah.
Thanks.
But yeah, so that's kind of all I have. But you can do it. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you, Tammy.
Nice job.
All right, Zoom people, I think we're good. Stop sharing. You guys good on Zoom? I think you're good. So, all right, well, thanks for coming, guys.
Tony is gonna